The question that I have that needs to be answered is, can you predict who's going to win the Super Bowl based upon the square footage of the home that the quarterback owns?
Okay.
Here's the easy one. If we go back to last year, Super Bowl 58, we got Mahomes versus Purdy.
Yeah.
Mahomes has at this point completed his mega mansion, which is gorgeous, by the way. I took many photos and look-throughs and videos that I watched. I mean, he's got a football field and a soccer field in the back, a 3-hole par 3 golf course. It's crazy. But okay, do you know where Purdy was living and the square footage he had?
No.
You didn't see? Okay, he was renting an apartment in San Francisco with one of the offensive linemen. Okay, so I've got Mahomes' square footage last year for Super Bowl 58 at 12,800, and I got Purdy at near zero.
Okay.
I mean, maybe we could give him 300 feet. We know the outcome of that Super Bowl.
Yes.
Mahomes wins.
Yes.
12,800 square feet. Okay, the previous year, Super Bowl 57, which was a rematch. We've got Mahomes versus Hurts. At that time, Mahomes had not sold his previous home. So he actually was owned 17,000 square feet. And Hurts was at roughly 12,350 based upon two mansions that he had purchased in Texas that he lives in during part of the off season. Okay, who won that one?
I believe it was the Chiefs. They beat the Eagles.
They did, and so Mahomes again.
I had to think for a minute.
Mahomes again with the square footage edge, also winning that Super Bowl.
Okay.
Now I'm going to take you back a game before. I went back 5 years on this to see if this had some legs to it. And we got Stafford, who at the time, Matt Stafford with the Rams, living in 17,129 square feet.
Yeah.
Versus Burrow at 2,900 square feet, a more modest.
Okay.
Rams wins that game.
Yeah, the Rams beat the Bengals. Yeah.
Square footage of quarterback is winning again.
Okay.
Okay, so then I go back to Super Bowl 55. We got Brady and Mahomes. Okay, Mahomes at this point was living or owned 13,000 square feet. Okay. Brady, however, had completed the renovation on a mega mansion and owned 30,000 square feet. I know it's hard to remember when Mahomes had lost.
Yeah.
But
that's when Brady won with Tampa.
Brady won with Tampa, and he had the square footage advantage.
Ooh.
And then I go back before Super Bowl 54, we got Mahomes and Garoppolo. Mahomes at that time had not built the mega mansion, but owned 6,100 square feet, and you had Garoppolo at only a modest 1,148 square feet, and the Chiefs get the 49ers 31-20. The square footage of the quarterback represents who's going to win the Super Bowl.
So whoever has a bigger house.
Okay, so here's what I have going on right now before next week. I've got Mahomes at roughly 12,800 square feet because he was at 17, but he sold the previous homes from the public records that I could find. And then I've got the combination of Hurts. He's got two Texas mansions side by side. Mansions. They're big. I mean, like 6,000 square feet, another 4. Now, then he has another home in Texas. So that's roughly 10,000 square feet that he had purchased, but he has since transferred that to his brother's name. Okay. 12,350 puts him 500 square feet short of beating Mahomes in the Super Bowl.
Oh, so it's going to be a Kansas City repeat.
If I was Hurts, I would go out this week and I would purchase and close on another house on that same block with his mansions. And that would be the biggest predictor of winning the Super Bowl next week. So I call it what you want, a rabbit hole, McKay, but it's in the stats. And so I mean he didn't buy big enough. We're going to see if this holds for the 6th year in a row, but he does not have the square footage.
Ooh.
That's
somewhere out there. There's some guy going, I got to get a hold of my bookie.
Or his realtor.
Yeah.
I mean, there we go. So that's Lance Kenmore's real estate take on the Super Bowl. And I'm calling it right now based on square footage.